What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today I've got this 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Right before we jump into it, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, as it does help out the channel tremendously and with the YouTube algorithm. And also, we're so close to 1,000 subscribers as well. With that being said, let's jump right into this 2022 Bighorn. Like always, as for the Ram 1500 trim levels that you can get the Tradesman Bighorn, which you're looking at right now, Sport, Rebel, Laramie, Longhorn, or the Limited. And when it comes to the safety features on this 2022 Bighorn, the standard one that you're just gonna get is brake assist. But if you end up getting the Bighorn level 2 equipment group, which this truck has, you're also gonna get your park sense front and rear park assist. Starting things off in the front of this Bighorn, I'll start off at the bottom and make my way up. So as you can see, the front bumper is a fully chrome bumper, and same with the rear one. Also, because this truck has your protection group, it's also going to give you your front tow hooks. And like I was mentioning, you do have your sensors for your park sense, and you get your regular fog lights, which are just your halogen ones. Moving up above, you got your black grille with the chrome surrounding. And if you haven't watched my 2022 Ram 1500 Sport video, in that video I mentioned that the grille on these ones now is different from the 2021s. And of course, you get your chrome Ram badging in the front, and then you get your regular quad halogen lens headlamps. I wish on the Bighorns there was an option to get LED ones, which I think look way better. And moving above to the hood, this is just a regular hood. You cannot get the sports performance hood on these. They start from the sport models. And then of course you've got your chrome badging of 1500 and then the Hemi 5.7 liter on the both sides. As you make our way to the side of the Bighorn, you'll also get chrome side mirrors. Now these side mirrors are power folding, which is very convenient of course. And also standard is your 3.21 rear axle ratio, or you can upgrade to the 3.92. Now that's for the 5.7 liter V8 Hemi, but if you choose the V6 option, you can then upgrade to the 3.55. Also, an upgraded feature on this truck, it has the 4-corner air suspension. Now this Bighorn has a ton of different upgraded options like you'll see in this video, and I haven't seen a Bighorn with this many options in a very long time. This truck also has your optional upgraded side steps, which you can get as well. And of course, you get your standard 18-inch aluminum wheels, or you can upgrade these as well to 20-inch. Another optional upgrade on this truck are your Ram boxes at the back. And like I mentioned that you got the tow hooks in the front because of the protection group, you're also gonna get your skid plates, so for your fuel tank, transfer case, front suspension, and your steering gear. So as for the Ram boxes on both sides on the bed, as you can see, you get a decent amount of space in here to put obviously your tools and stuff like that, whatever you need to do. And also you get a 115 volt plug in the back as well, in case you're working outside and stuff like that. You can plug into the truck and do whatever you need to do. Heading over to the rear of the Bighorn, at the bottom you've got your dual chrome exhaust of course, and you've got your upgraded hitch at the bottom there, which is optional. And right above that you do have your chrome bumper just like the front one, and then you do have of course your wiring, plugs, and all of that for towing. As for your tailgate, you can see everything is in chrome, all of the badging. You got the Bighorn badging in black and chrome, and then of course your Ram head logo in chrome as well, along with your 4x4 badging. One thing that I did notice for the 2022 Bighorns are your tail lights. These are different from the 2021. This is new for 2022. Opening up the tailgate on this Bighorn, because this has the bed utility group, you're also gonna get your spray and liner directly from the factory. Also, what's included with that package is your LED bed lighting, which is very convenient of course. And then you also get your 4 adjustable tie down hooks, which is also very nice to have if you have cargo in the back and you want to move it around, position it however you need to, you can do that. And also as an extra option, this truck also has your tonneau cover in the back as well. And if that wasn't enough, like I mentioned, this truck has the Bighorn level 2 equipment group. With that, you're also going to get your rear power sliding window. So now if you make our way to the back of the Bighorn, so you can see here you've got kind of a two-tone door panel going on. You've got kind of like a diesel gray, and then the half of it's black at the bottom. You've got a decent amount of room obviously for storage and your cup holder use. Right above that you've got a little bit of storage as well. You got your speaker. Now typically this would only come with a 6-speaker system, but you can also get the Alpine system as well. And over at the top, I like how they have kind of like a marbling type of a trim piece going on, and that's throughout the whole truck. It just makes it feel a little bit more better. As for the rear seats, these are fully cloth seats, and even in the front you can only get the cloth option in the Bighorns. But as for the interior exterior color, you can either get the black with diesel gray or just fully black on black, but this particular one has the black with diesel gray, of course. And even though that these seats are cloth seats, don't get it twisted, because these seats are still very comfortable. And if you go ahead and pull down the center handrest at the back, the only thing you'll have in there are your two cup holders for the rear passengers. Also, just like any other Ram 1500 truck, in the back, of course, you can lift these seats up and have way more room back here, of course, for storage or whatever you want to do. If you don't want to use your bed at the back, or if it's full, you have enough space in here to put a good amount of things. Another thing that comes with the BigHorn level 2 equipment group on this truck are your rear in-floor storage bins, which are very convenient. You can use these as coolers or whatever you want to do, or if you want to hide things at a plain sight, you can tuck them away in here and you're good to go. Behind the driver and passenger seats, again, these are fully cloth seats like I mentioned, and of course you get mat pockets on both sides for that extra bit of storage. And on the rear center console, you got obviously your vents, and then you do have a little bit of storage to put a phone or a wallet, and right underneath that you do have your USB ports along with a 115 volt plug. Now, as you make your way to the front of the BigHorn, the door layout style, everything is exactly like the rears. You just have a little bit more room at the bottom near the cup holder area, and you've still got that two-tone gray and black going on, and of course that trim piece that looks like marble. Other than that, you just have your typical window controls, and then of course, like I mentioned, your button for your exterior power folding mirrors. Now, as for the front seats, like I was mentioning in the back, you do have option of getting either black on diesel gray, which this is, or you can get black on black. Another option that you can get in the front is either the bench seating, which this one has, so you have an extra seat in the middle, or you can get the bucket seats, which will give you a center console instead. So typically, without the BigHorn level 2 equipment group, you're not going to have the power seats, of course, in the front. However, if you do end up getting the level 2 equipment group, not only is your driver side going to be power adjustable, you're also going to get your front heated seating as well. At the bottom, nothing too crazy going on, just your foot pedals. However, if you move above that, you do have your electronic parking brake. And another thing that's a part of your BigHorn level 2 equipment group is your power adjustable pedals. And then you've got your 115 volt plug button to turn the power on and off right there. And in the center, you do have your hood latch release. Now, right above that, you do have your lighting controls, fog lights, and all of that. Next to that, you've got your dimmer, and your steering wheel is manual adjustable. As you make your way into the BigHorn, it's just your typical full blacked out dashboard along with your speakers on both sides, and you've got one in the center. Now, moving over to the center gauge cluster, it's very typical to any other Ram 1500. Just the layout and everything is pretty much identical, and whatever you can do in the center screen as well. If you haven't seen my other videos, or if you don't know about the Ram trucks, you have a bunch of different options in your screen here that you can kind of flick through and have in front of you without, going over onto your touchscreen and looking away. It's right in front of you. You can have whatever. There's a bunch of different things like I mentioned. As for your steering wheel, you've got a leather wrapped steering wheel, which is nice, and of course it's heated as well. On the left side of the steering wheel, you've got controls like I'd shown you for your center gauge cluster. You've got Bluetooth controls, and on the right side, you've got controls for your cruise control settings and your gear limit selector. Now, behind your steering wheel on the left side, you've got controls for your indicators, high beams, windshield wipers, fluid, and all of that good stuff. And on the right side of the steering wheel, behind it, you've got your typical push to start button. Below that, you've got your knob for your gear selector, of course, and then you have your 4-wheel drive auto, high, low, 2-wheel drive, and all of that good stuff. Now, moving over to where typically you would have your center console. With this particular one, you have an extra seat in the front, but if you're not using that seat, you can actually fold it down and you'll have access to cup holders, obviously, for the front. And if you open up the first section here, you do have a decent amount of room to put small little items or whatever you need to. But if you look right across from the center seat here, you've got more USB ports along with an aux cable port. And in the center here, you do have this tray that kind of pulls out and you have additional storage that you can put things into. And on the right side of that, you do have another 115 volt plug in the front. And moving above that, you do have a bunch of different controls, obviously, for your front and rear park sensors, which you can turn on and off. You've got tow haul mode, traction control, and then like I mentioned, you've got your air suspension settings here. And this also has your upgraded trailer brake control as well. Above that, you've got a bunch of different controls. This is for your heating and cooling, and then you've got buttons for your heated seats and heated steering wheel. Above that, you've got your upgraded 8.4-inch touchscreen, which is a part of your BigHorn level 2 equipment group. Now, this system is the brand new system, which is the Uconnect 5 system. It's so much better than the older one. This is more redefined, more crisp, and more responsive. And now on the home section with the Uconnect 5 system, you can actually add pages and rearrange things on however you want on the screen, which is very, very nice to have. Moving over to your media section, this is your typical AM, FM, Sirius XM, but now with the Uconnect 5 system, you can wirelessly connect your Apple CarPlay or your Google Android Auto phone. Over on the comfort side of things, here you can also control your heating and cooling or from the touch buttons down below. Also, you can control your heated seats and your heated steering wheel from here. Over on your navigation screen, you can now see if you have low fuel, it'll show you the gas stations around your area, and you can also turn this into a 3D map now. Over on your phone settings, you can now pair two phones at the same time with this Uconnect 5 system. Under your vehicle tab here, you'll have access to dim your rear view mirror and access your rear view camera. Moving over to your applications tab, here you have a bunch of different things that you can go through, and now with the Uconnect 5 system, it also supports Alexa that's built in now. Also new with the Uconnect 5 system, the bar at the top is touchable, so if you touch any of the things, it brings out a shortcut menu, which is very convenient. Right above your touchscreen, you've got more of this kind of like a marble type of a material finish, trim, whatever you want to call it, and then you have more space up top to put small little items along with a 12-volt adapter. Moving above that, you've got your rear view dimmable mirror, of course, but if you move above that, you've got controls for your lighting on the inside, assist and SOS. You've got buttons for your rear power sliding window, your sunroof, sunshade, and all of that. And a really nice feature that this BigHorn has that I haven't seen at all is the dual panoramic sunroof, which is the best thing to have in any vehicle. If we go over to the passenger side, in terms of your glove department space, it's typical to any Ram 1500. You've got a decent amount of room to put small little items or whatever you need to. If that does get full, you do have a secondary one right above that. Not very big, but you do have a decent amount of room. And if you go ahead and close the second section, you do have also your BigHorn badging. And as for what powers this BigHorn, it's the 5.7 liter Hemi V8 engine with the fuel saver MDS, which is going to give you 395 horsepower with 410 foot-pound of torque. And as for your towing, the way that this particular 2022 BigHorn is set up, you can tow a little over 8,100 pounds. However, depending on if you get the 4x2 or crew cab, quad cab, whatever it is, you can tow with this engine particularly a maximum capacity of 11,610 pounds. And here's what the key fob looks like. It's a very traditional Ram key for this BigHorn. You've got your unlock, lock button. Because this has air suspension, you can lower your truck off the key fob, remote start, and your panic button. On the rear of the key fob, you just have a nice looking Ram logo. And as for the window sticker for this 2022 Ram 1500 BigHorn, you can see obviously the typical stuff, exterior color, engine option, and all of that. You've got your standard equipment that comes with the truck, and then you have your optional equipment. As you can see, this truck has a ton of optional equipment that was added to it, so that's why it has a bunch of stuff that I've shown you. And then you have your price at the bottom. Now this is in Canadian dollars and minus any dealer discounts or manufacturing discounts. And that is it for this 2022 Ram 1500 BigHorn. Like always, let me know in the comments down below, do you love this truck or do you hate this truck?